Since January 2018, members of Congress on select committees and senior staff members have been receiving closed-door classified briefings on the UFO mystery. Now, for the first time in 54 years, a public hearing into that matter has been held. A House subcommittee on intelligence called two witnesses, both of them high-ranking Pentagon officials. In the view of many who observed the testimony, it was, in a word, underwhelming. If Congress decides to move forward with additional public hearings, what names should be called forward to tell what they know? Here are two names we'd like to throw into the hat.
And if you're supposed to be a trained scientist or engineer, then you're supposed to be asking these questions, instead of running away and hiding from these questions. I think the perception has changed.
Dr. Travis Taylor has become one of the highest profile scientists in the world, not merely because he has 2 PhDs and spent 2 decades working on sensitive projects for NASA and the Pentagon.
We set up over close to the doorway.
But because of his role as a scientific investigator on the History Channel's TV show, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. Taylor was an arch skeptic when he began working at the infamous Utah property a few years ago. Not anymore.
I've never seen a UFO until I got out there. I've seen more UFOs now than you can count.
Hooked up? Yep. All right, Eric.
But Taylor doesn't just play a scientist on TV. In late April, a cutting-edge defense contractor named Radiance Technologies announced it had hired him. The release used generic language to describe what it does: systems engineering, strategic intelligence, cybersecurity, and more. The company's release didn't hide Taylor's involvement with UFO investigations. It touted it. The same company just dropped another UFO bomb by announcing it has hired Taylor's friend and colleague, John Stratton, who recently left a distinguished career as one of the U.S. Navy's premier intelligence officials. The company's release noted that Stratton was also the head of the UAP Task Force, the Pentagon unit that's been investigating UFO incidents for the past 5 years, long before the name of the task force was official. What is Radiance Technologies up to?
The two of you working together is, I think, the kind of news that will get people's imaginations working overtime. What are those guys building down there? Are they making spaceships? Are they got alien technology?
Well, so John Jay, as we call him, Stratton, he and I have been colleagues for a long time. I've known him in the defense industry circles, and we've worked together, and I'll leave it at that for now.
Most of Stratton's work remains classified, but it's known he achieved the equivalent rank of a flag officer and used his clout to form the UAP task force, long before it was called that. It was an interagency effort that included the Navy, NASA, Homeland Security, the FAA, and more. During his tenure, a comprehensive and classified briefing presentation was created for members of Congress, intelligence agencies, higher-ups in the Pentagon. That document included photos and videos of UFOs collected by military personnel, including the Tic Tac case, as well as the strange images of pyramid-shaped UFOs buzzing Navy ships in 2019, which Stratton and his team determined to be genuine unknowns. Stratton has never spoken publicly about his work and is not commenting now. His colleague, Travis Taylor, thinks that if Congress ever holds another public hearing about UFOs, it should include witnesses who have worked as boots-on-the-ground investigators.
And they need to hear from real scientists like myself that these phenomena are real, are being measured, and they are there. In my mind, there's a potential for a disruptive technology to be created.
The possibility of disruptive technology might be the main reason for the ongoing secrecy surrounding UFOs. Whichever nation is able to figure out and duplicate the technology of whatever it is we've been seeing in the skies for decades wins, period. George Knapp, 8 News Now.